welcome back to the 90th minute. We are your hosts. We got Lucas, we got Waz, myself, Liam, co-host Greg, yet again not here. This man.
He's lazy.
Even Lucas is here. He just came out of major surgery.
Well, not really major.
Huge. Anyways, this is a midweek special, so we are going to discuss some of the news going around Europe, and we might also do a live stream in a couple hours here.
Yeah, it won't be live on YouTube, but we might post some clips from that on this podcast.
We're gonna watch El Clasico. We're gonna review it.
Do it on TikTok because we have many followers on the TikToks.
Yeah, if you are a new follower on TikTok or a new YouTube subscriber, we greatly appreciate your support. Keep sharing us. Keep hitting like. Make sure you are subscribed. Mm-hmm. Comment down below. Give us your thoughts on this podcast. Any and all football news. Mm-hmm. We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, and once again, podcast plays are going up and up. I think we had our best week last week, so it's going well for us.
Big things, boys. Big things.
Well, we will see.
We're huge. We are going to start, though, in the Premier League with some managerial news. It looks like Arsenal finally have their new man.
Yeah, according to, I guess, many sources, including Fabrizio Romano.
Sky Sports, I know they reported on it. They're rather reliable.
Yeah, sometimes.
Usually, yes, they are.
But Mikel Arteta is set to become new Arsenal manager. Today, Man City has accepted. Pep Guardiola wanted him to stay, but it's a great opportunity for Arteta. Here we go.
Piss off Guardiola.
Mikel Arteta, of course, the ex-Arsenal player. He spent a few years at that club. I would say he's a decently fan favorite. He did very well when he was at Arsenal.
I wouldn't say very well, but I mean,
he was a great player.
I thought he was pretty good.
I don't know.
Mentally, he was one of the best players in the game.
What makes you say that?
He was a very smart player.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, obviously, that's why Arsenal wanted him to be a youth
He watches Liverpool only. He doesn't watch Arsenal games, okay? This is very clear.
This is the man that watches like third division Italian football.
Put respect on Mikel Arteta's name.
Mikel Arteta, but okay. Let's break this down from first the Arsenal side of things, and then we'll go to Man City. For Arsenal, they're getting a man who supposedly should, at least on paper, know the club. Mm-hmm. He knows about the DNA, he knows about the history, knows about the play style. However, he's very inexperienced.
Yeah.
And this is a very crucial time for Arsenal where they're slipping further and further down the table. Bad play style, bad off-the-field issues, players that don't want to be there, players that really shouldn't be there. They're not good enough. Do we think Mikel Arteta is the right man?
It's so hard to tell because we've never seen him. Well, we've seen him manage a match for Manchester City before when Pep Guardiola has been suspended, but we don't really know what type of manager he really is as a first-team coach.
He was the assistant coach at City, correct? So, I mean, he does have top-level experience, not at the helm, not as the top man, but to me, honestly, my personal opinion, I think this is Arsenal taking the cheap route.
You think so?
I think this is them cheaping out and saying, you know what? There's bigger managers out there. There's bigger, paychecks that they could pay. But Arteta will be cheaper. He'll be easier. Go with him and see if it works.
And he also learned under one of the best managers of all time, too.
100%. I don't think he's a terrible option, but I don't think he's the best option either.
Well, who is the best option in your opinion?
I think Carlo Ancelotti would be better.
We'll mention him soon, but yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Like, This is more of a project, I feel like. Like, you have to give this time, which I know Arsenal fans are not very patient right now.
But quite frankly, Arsenal is a rebuild waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. It's a team that's to be torn apart and rebuilt.
Yeah. Waz, what do you think about this?
This is a great signing.
You're a man whose club got taken. Yes. The boss is an ex-player.
This is a good idea.
A rebuild is happening at Manchester United.
You need someone who knows the club to be in charge.
It hasn't really worked out for you guys.
No, it's been working well. What are you talking about?
Has it really?
You have to be patient. We're also rebuilding in a sense. So, you have to you have to be patient with us.
You like Mikel Arteta.
Yes, I think we predicted this as well.
I did.
I
said this 2 months ago.
Yeah, we all kind of said, hey, why not Mikel Arteta? He's been under Guardiola for a while. Mm-hmm. I think he's ready to take on this challenge. Yeah. It's a bit big, but I mean, Ole got sacked from Cardiff, and then he went to Manchester United.
He had to stop off at Molde for a little bit.
So I mean,
to be fair, Ole was not really initially thought of as the main manager for Manchester United.
I was kind of surprised at first, like Ole, out of all people,
in the discussion that he got appointed.
Yeah, so
but yeah, it's an interesting appointment. Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. We should say that.
Well,
at a time of recording,
when Fabrizio says "Here we go," it's happening.
I agree.
Do you want to go to dinner with this man or something? Like, you want to just...
You do love Fabrizio.
He's always right.
It's like you like Fabrizio and Gianluca Di Marzio. Because they get everything right.
You know, it's actually not bad pronunciation from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was not bad.
Yeah. It's my...
It wasn't Lucas's Luigi voice.
Don't ever do that again.
Here we go.
Don't even try. This
At the time of recording, it technically has not been confirmed by Arsenal or anyone.
Yes.
But chances are it's going to happen in the next 24, 48
he's
hours.
going to be managing against Everton, supposedly.
Oh, that'd be great.
So let's look at this from Manchester City's perspective.
Yeah.
Things aren't going so well in the league season. They're still playing pretty well for the most part, but they're going to lose one of their coaches, which has been with them for these past 3 seasons, I'd like to say.
They might lose the main man here as well. There's talks about Pep Guardiola ready to jump ship.
Yeah, we mentioned that on the podcast last time, so if you're interested in that whole argument and discussion, it's in our previous podcast.
Link
below.
is in the bio.
But do you think this is going to affect City much or not really?
Supposedly Arsenal have to pay, I think it was 1 million, 1.5 million pounds to buy him out, which is chump change for these clubs. That's what Man City makes in an hour kind of thing.
Essentially, off shirt sales.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean...
Off breathing.
Yeah. For Man City, do I think it'll have a huge implication? Probably not.
In the grand scheme of things,
No.
I mean, I don't know who Pep Guardiola's assistant manager was when he was at Bayern or at Barcelona, but I'm sure one of them are available. He just calls them up.
Yeah.
They'll pop on over to the
Hasn't
Etihad.
Arteta been at City longer than Guardiola?
Arteta originally was with youth teams.
Yeah.
Because he was either going to go to Arsenal or Manchester City's youth teams. He decided with Manchester City and proved to be the right choice.
I have more faith in Mikel Arteta than Freddie Ljungberg.
Well, because he's...
Freddie Ljungberg is just there because there was no one else available.
Yeah, poor Freddie.
I mean, I don't think Mikel Arteta is going to get this team.
Could you imagine? No.
I mean, okay, we've said that Arsenal's going to be a rebuild. Arsenal's going to take time. How much time does he have? Is he going to have 2 seasons? 5 seasons?
Well, if they don't start getting results now, relegation will be a serious consideration. And that's scary to think. I mean, there's some good...
Where are Arsenal on the table right now?
They have 22 points, I believe. They're tied with Newcastle. I think they're like 7 points ahead of relegation.
Scenes.
In 2010, could you imagine us saying that? Arsenal are tied with Newcastle on points in the table.
I mean, Newcastle for a while were an okay club.
They were.
Just the biggest yo-yo team of all time.
Arsenal are in there. They're in the mix with Burnley and Brighton.
I think for Arsenal, what's scary is it's not October. It's now January. You know, we're coming into the new year, and they're still down there.
Well, it's not all doom and gloom. You know, the championship is some tough teams. It's good competition. So, and you never know. They might not even come back up if they go down.
Away trips to Derby County.
You know, Fulham are down there. Leeds are probably going to come up, right? So. It'll be a good time for them.
Listen, your club's not that far away. You can't banter too much.
You're only 3 points ahead of
You're
Arsenal.
not that far away.
Listen, we're playing Colchester in the Carabao Cup. That's what matters. We'll show them what's up.
What you lose.
We're talking about Man United potentially getting relegated earlier this year as a joke.
Right. Now we told you guys to shut up after we beat City and Spurs, okay?
And then you go and lose to Burnley.
We didn't lose. We drew.
You'll lose to the next small team you play.
Okay, whatever.
But to get back on the Mikel Arteta news, it's going to be if it is appointed, it's going to be a huge transitional period for Arsenal. New manager, new play style, new ideas, new tactics. It will also probably be a new era of players at Arsenal. You can see, David Luiz and Socrates and Kolasinac, and I can keep going here. There's probably a dozen players that Arsenal could offload.
They do have some quality players, but they're not working, and they don't want to work.
Well, we look at the front three. That's their biggest ones. You have Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette. On paper, those three should be.
And when
very,
Pepe
very
came
good.
to the Premier League, he looked like he would have been an outstanding player.
He has not worked yet at Arsenal.
He scored a couple of nice. He scored a very nice free kick, but
rumors are Lacazette could be on the way out because he's not getting game time. He's not being given the big matches. Aubameyang, is he ready to jump ship? Because, quite frankly, he's better than Arsenal, in my opinion.
I mean, honestly, like, are Arsenal going to try to play like Manchester City? Or is there going to be some differences with the style of play?
I mean, I think under Arsene Wenger, Arsenal played one of the most attractive brands of football. The passing, the movement. Mm-hmm. You know, Arsene Wenger was, I thought, a fantastic manager.
Arteta does extremely well, somehow goes up the table, and Arsenal finished second.
This season?
Yeah.
No.
Could you imagine that?
There are how many points between that?
Could you just imagine that
When
story?
he overtakes
That
Man
that
City?
would be a beautiful fairy tale.
Oh, that's 17 points.
I hate to break it to you. I know Man City have not
Anything
been great,
is possible
but
in the world.
That's
of
not even
football.
that's why
Manchester City.
I know second's Leicester, but
I don't know.
no, I'm sorry.
I still expect Arsenal to be poor defensively with Arteta,
100%.
despite not knowing much. Just basing it off, it probably going to be a little similar to Manchester City's style. They're
You
going
have
to
to
try.
look at the players available. Yes, you can bring in a new manager, but you cannot rely on Socrates, David Luiz, Kolasinac. You can't. Granit Xhaka. You cannot rely on these guys. I'm sorry. They're not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. They're not.
Well,
They're not.
They're
Arsenal
not.
are a
But
historic
right now,
team.
are they?
They're a big team. They need to be at the top challenging for titles.
well, Aston Villa used to be a very historic team.
Yes.
And look what happened to them.
Yes, I'm fully aware. Leeds used to be good.
So was
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham
I'm
Forest
aware.
won the Champions League twice in a row.
I'm aware.
I
But
think.
what I'm saying is this is a club who have money, have a good fan base, have a great stadium, still are an attractive name across Europe. They need to act like it.
Oh, we're going to see how it goes. First, we'll talk about their first matchup, I guess, during the weekend.
Yeah.
And maybe it will go well. Maybe it'll go awfully. Who knows?
There was another managerial change in the Premier League.
Yes.
Again, not confirmed technically, but
Well, here we go.
pretty much confirmed again.
Yes, from Fabrizio Romano here. Ancelotti Everton, here we go.
Carlo
Ancelotti is
Ancelotti.
ready to sign as new Everton manager. Total agreement has been reached on last hours, and now he'll start talks with Napoli to get free from his contract until June 2021. Then it'll be official and he'll join Everton. I know Sky Sports has said he won't take appointment against Arsenal, but on Boxing Day
He'll
will.
play the Boxing Day fixture against Burnley. He'll be manager. But yeah, Carlo Ancelotti, he did get sacked at Napoli after their Champions League victory, which was shocking, but understandable based on their Serie A form. He comes over to the Premier League yet again, the ex-Chelsea boss. You know, he comes with a great reputation, good history to him.
But last few jobs have not went well for him.
No, they haven't, and you know, he's been on a bit of a downward spiral, I'd say, honestly. But Everton, desperate to get some results going. They're right down at the bottom of the Premier League. They need to A, survive relegation, and B, show that the money they spent in the summer in the last few years is worth it, because they've invested in their squad.
And they're not in a good position, like we've mentioned. Honestly, I think I have no idea how this is going to go because Ancelotti has a reputation of managing top sides, and usually he does well with the top teams.
To me, this screams Rafa Benitez at Newcastle.
Are you not calling Everton a top side?
No, I'm not.
He's a Liverpool fan, for fuck's
You
sake.
need to put a little bit of respect on Everton.
They're
right down
Doesn't matter. They're still in the Premier League.
for now.
They're still a decent team.
But this screams to me Rafa Benitez at Newcastle, a big manager going to a smaller club. Yes, it's still got a fan base and a good. He has money behind them, maybe more so than Rafa had. But can he get the best other players that are currently there? And come January, can he maybe get a few
Well, you see,
good
Rafa,
players?
you see, Carlo Ancelotti, he knows how to win titles, and that's what Everton are getting.
I mean, he hasn't won a title for a while.
since Bayern Munich.
That was a few years ago.
He won one with Chelsea, right?
That was
That was like a decade ago.
yeah.
If not longer.
He knows how to do things. Pay attention.
Okay, I hate to break it to you. There's a guy called Ronnie Dyla. He also won titles for Celtic. I wouldn't trust that man to manage my team, for Christ's sake. Like, sorry.
I just don't know how this is going to go. Honestly, it's kind of like Arteta, except we do know.
Don't predict.
No,
Just
I think this
watch.
is different than Arteta.
Well, it's like we know the sample size that Ancelotti has had, his credentials, his reputation. It's obviously very high, but recent years, like
I mean,
I've been hearing a lot of Italians say that he's done as a top manager, and
Yeah.
I think it's
But
pretty
people say the
obvious.
same thing about Jose Mourinho.
but like they
People said Mourinho's days at big clubs were done. He goes to Spurs, and he actually did very well in the first month being there.
Well, Ancelotti doesn't really take a break, it seems. He just goes to another club. And
Yeah.
well, no, he took a break after Real Madrid.
But does he really fix his tactics and whatnot and, like, kind of, reassess everything?
He is a good manager. We can't.
He
Coaches some of the biggest teams.
He's
in the
won the
world.
Champions League a couple times.
But like what I've like listened to podcast people saying that they think Ancelotti is really going to management jobs, but his son is really getting more involved in it.
His son is his assistant manager, David Ancelotti, David, I don't know how you're going to pronounce it, but he is, I think, already at Everton. He's going there early. Supposedly he's keeping Duncan Ferguson on the coaching staff.
Excellent. That's awesome.
He's done very well. I mean, he's interim boss at Everton right now. He's got good results. He's good energy to him. Yes, he had a bit of an issue with Moise Kean.
Oh, well, that's not really an issue though. That's more so Moise Kean being a little girl about it. Not a little girl, but he's being a bit of a wimp. He's crying. He's getting subbed off.
I mean, you imagine you come on the field in like the 70th minute, get subbed off in the 86th.
Here's the thing, Lucas. Here's the thing. Well, Moise Kean. Duncan Ferguson told him one thing before he went on the field: work hard and track back. Yeah. What did he not do? Work harder, track back.
I'm not saying that it was the wrong decision by Duncan Ferguson.
I honestly respect it highly.
Don't be so pouty that you're getting subbed off, man. You're playing in the Premier League, making millions of pounds.
It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. You'd be embarrassed getting subbed off playing 15 minutes.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I'd accept it.
If he's deserving of being subbed off, yes, he'd be all upset because he's upset for anything, but if you deserve to be subbed off, you deserve to be subbed off. Yeah. I don't care how long you've been on the pitch.
I think it's a natural reaction being pissed off getting subbed off after such a short time. But if he reflects on it and realizes, okay, yeah, that was deserved.
Sure, but you have to understand this is more so than it's a tactical substitution than anything.
I have no issue with what Duncan Ferguson did. I know he's got slated in the media for destroying a young man's confidence. Well, the young man could have worked harder.
Just wait, he's going to play more games. This is not his last game.
He's been crap since coming over.
Like Jadon Sancho, he got subbed off early in the Clasico, and look at his stats since that match. Amazing.
To be fair, I mean, it's just Mbappe got subbed off, and he wouldn't even give his manager a look.
And he played nearly the whole game.
Yeah, disgusting. These young footballers, they need to show their manager more respect.
I think the difference is Mbappe and Moise Kean and Jadon Sancho are all on.
Yes, I understand that. I'm just saying.
Moise Kean came over with, I think, a decent reputation from Juventus. He had a good breakout year, and then he's done nothing since coming over to Everton.
Yeah. But
definite flop.
I guess overall with this appointment, do you think this will go successful, or do you think this is going to be Ancelotti's last hurrah?
What do we consider as successful?
Getting Everton to push Europa League places, maybe?
This season? Not a chance. I think if Everton can finish top 10, they'll be happy.
I mean, that's kind of pushing it to Europa League places. Europa League is 7th. Mm-hmm. And Everton are right now 7 points behind Sheffield, who are in 7th.
If they can make 10th or higher, they'll be extremely happy this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think their biggest issue is don't get relegated. Stay in the Premier League. Stay with the money, and then invest again in your club. Get rid of the dead weight. Get rid of players who don't need to be there. Have a system, have a game plan, and start again.
Hopefully, bring the passion that Ferguson has brought to the club, but 100%. Also more tactics and things that Everton managers haven't really had in the past.
It's kind of like a new challenge for Ancelotti, right? It's like a reclamation project.
I actually think it's better for him.
Yeah.
Instead of going to this top club, win the champions, win the championship is, hey.
Because the expectations are higher at those bigger clubs.
Well, not just that, but this gives him more of a chance to maybe try different things. Try a
maybe
different
be
player.
more stable.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the best manager they've probably signed in ever.
If you're at one of the top clubs, you have your, let's say, starting 11. You have 2 or 3 players who might break into it. But other than that, there's not much rotation happening. This is what you have. At a club like Everton, you can change half your 11 every game. And it's like, he's just trying new things, That's how I look at it, at least. So I was manager there. Is there any other Premier League news, really?
We got transfer news. Yes. Let's go talk about it. It's great.
We talked about it for half an hour last episode.
This is the best news I have heard all month.
What? Best news? This is very much we don't know anything yet.
Erling Haaland.
Okay, so Fabrizio, welcome back.
Fabrizio should be part of this podcast.
One day we'll have him on. When we have our own little area studio.
What?
I don't think Fabrizio is coming on the 90th minute. I hate to break it to you.
He's kind of busy.
We'll get him via phone call.
Via Skype.
Yes.
Help us get bigger. We'll get Fabrizio on.
So pretty much, here's the situation.
Yes.
About Haaland.
Yes. I love him.
So bid from United, Juventus, Leipzig, and Dortmund. Mm-hmm. He's going to decide soon with his family and Raiola. Yes, Raiola.
Yeah, everyone loves him.
Ole knows he wants to play, and Haaland knows he wants to be a starter. That'll be key for this next move. Mm-hmm. So Solskjaer knows that Haaland wants to play. He never accepted a club where he's not playing every week. So Juventus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get Haaland, Man United or Juve must promise him to be a starter and give him a great contract. That's why Bundesliga clubs are still in the race and pushing. Talks are still going. And Fabrizio says, just remember, going to Leipzig would mean business for Red Bull and same ownership of Salzburg and no release clause problems. So Leipzig and also Dortmund must be considered in the race for Haaland as Man United and Juventus. So the only the player must give his will.
Can I be honest? I think Borussia Dortmund would be the best move for him.
Why?
I mean, he's extremely talented. He's young. What does Dortmund do with young players? They turn them into stars.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And I'll be honest, I think he's a little bit better than Paco Alcácer.
Well, he was. It's such a small sample. Alcácer was brilliant last season.
He was. I'm just saying.
He hasn't done much this season, though.
Because he's been injured. That's why Dortmund are looking for another striker.
I'm just saying, he's probably going to start a lot more at Dortmund than he would at any of these other clubs, unless Man United want to move around the team to fit him in.
Well, I don't know the source
and with
of this,
with the other Red Bull team, what are you gonna give up Timo Werner?
Well, Leipzig play two strikers.
Then it works perfect
because then they can rotate and
yeah.
I don't know the source on this, but I saw on I think it's a football transfer on Twitter that if United sign him in January, they'll immediately loan him back to Salzburg until the next season. Yeah. Which I think is ridiculous. Why would you do that? You need a goal scorer.
No, but he can't play in the Europa League then.
Oh, I think
that's okay.
I think they're changing the rules.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
Rashford will be
the
okay.
only thing is that Rashford has been doing well as striker, but he can also play wing.
What can you guys?
But Martial is also usually typically plays number 9, but he can also play wing.
And you also have Daniel James and Mason.
But Daniel James plays more wing. Yeah, Haaland doesn't.
But then if the Martial or Rashford goes wing, that would affect James if Haaland is there.
Potentially.
And then Mason Greenwood.
And then you have Mason Greenwood. Yeah. Well, Mason Greenwood, I think he's a little bit more patient. He's okay.
I think he can be patient for a year or two, but like he definitely I think Greenwood deserves more minutes.
Oh, definitely, I think. But I mean, we are giving him plenty of minutes.
Yeah, that's why he deserves it. And he's been getting the goals for the club, which is fantastic.
I think the more and more we talk about Haaland, the biggest thing we can say is he is going to be one of the hottest prospects in Europe in January.
It kind of reminds me of when Mbappe kind of burst onto the scene.
I think this is a lot more different.
I think because Mbappe, we knew his path.
And people didn't know about Mbappe till Monaco played Manchester City in the Champions League.
Yeah, that was his breakout moment.
I watched him a little bit before in Ligue 1, just before the breakout happened.
Of course you did.
Yes. Well, I heard from other
Monaco
people.
Monaco were having a fantastic season that year, so fair enough. But.
Yeah, I think those two are very different in how they blew up.
Well, I think Haaland, he's had such a breakout season. The question now is, A, can he do it for another year, and B, can he do it in a bigger league, domestic league? Yeah. I mean, no offense to Austria, but it's a one-horse race.
Well, he's been doing it in the Champions League too.
100%, he's done fantastic, but is it just a one-hit wonder kind of thing?
And we don't know yet. This is why. Well, I don't know what the fees that are being reported. I know, I heard 20 million.
I heard he has a buyout clause of 20 or so, but then I also heard 76 million from Manchester United. I go, where did the 50 million come from?
So if this is like a 20 million move, I think that's just low risk.
20 million, you sign them up, you can sell them in jerseys next year.
I'm surprised more teams aren't after this if it was just 20 million.
Celtic.
But maybe these are just the teams that Haaland wants to talk to.
Don't go to Celtic. That's where you go to retire.
We had great young players. We could do fantastic wonders.
So that's why I think he would do well at United because we have a lot of good young players. It's a good dynamic for him, a good environment. I think he'd be a fantastic
player for you guys. I think he's someone that could be at that club for 10 years if not more.
I think if he goes to Dortmund and is actually the legit deal, I think Dortmund... I think either if he's a legit deal and he goes to Dortmund or Leipzig, I think one of those two could actually win the Bundesliga.
Yeah, that's true. There's no doubt about that. That'd be insane.
It'd be a good signing for Dortmund. I think they need a center forward.
Yeah, they need a guy to...
I love Marco Reus.
Well, he's not really a center forward.
He's not a center forward.
He's better a little bit behind the striker.
He's not a center forward, but they're playing him as a center forward.
Well, how old is Paco?
Paco is like 26, I think.
Yeah,
but he just has constant injuries. So
so that's why I think Haaland would be better.
Jadon Sancho is great for them, but
the thing
he's not going to be there for much longer.
Jadon Sancho's also rumored to go back to England.
Yeah, Manchester City is heavily linked. Same with Chelsea.
Any top English club's going to be heavily linked with him. But
not Arsenal.
No.
Not Arsenal.
Or probably not Spurs.
I don't know. Maybe United?
Oh, yeah.
You would take them? 100%.
Yeah, but...
Sorry, Daniel.
I think United, City, Chelsea, and Liverpool will be considered.
I don't see Liverpool doing it.
I could still see it.
You're gonna sign someone
Can you
else?
give me a reason to why Liverpool should sign him?
Well, if you look at this, we got the big front three for probably keep them for another year. But
Yeah.
Liverpool are versatile with their formation. Obviously, there's a 4-3-3, which if we use that, then you think, oh, where does he fit in then? But then you can switch to the 4-2-3-1, which Liverpool have been playing in
Do you
recent
think-
weeks.
Do you think it's time one of the big three in Liverpool and move on?
I think they'll stay for another year.
Okay, so who do you think would get dropped then?
I don't think they'd get dropped. I think Liverpool would switch to a 4-2-3-1. They play Firmino as like the guy behind Salah, who would play at striker.
Yeah.
Mane on the left, Sancho on the right. Obviously, lots of free roaming, lots
Yeah.
of movement in the front, and I think that would work great for the club.
Fabinho and
Fabi-
Keita or Fabinho Henderson? Or you can Fabinho and literally anyone because there's a list of them all.
Pretty much, and
That's not bad. I gotta be honest.
and also like sometimes there's some games where you play a 4-3-3 and one of those players might not be fit or.
Yeah. I mean, out of the Liverpool front three currently, the one I could see leaving would be Mane, because I think he could go for a different challenge. But the one I could see Liverpool letting go first is Firmino.
I don't think Firmino would be let go.
I don't think if Firmino or Mane would leave. Like, what other challenges there?
I mean, Mane in the past has flirted with Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, yeah, or a PSG or
So-
something.
I mean, I could also potentially see Salah leave one day, but
Where
again,
does
that's a
Salah go?
hard one.
Where does Salah go?
PSG, I don't know.
It's kind of, you want to
go
get
to
prepared for the
PSG.
future.
Yeah, and like I still think those three guys will stay next
I
season.
think Liverpool have a good thing going right now. I mean,
But-
Jurgen Klopp just signed a contract
Yeah.
extension, which is great for Liverpool.
And like he's gonna be there because there are reports saying that he's gonna be under the transition period. So like some transition.
For me, I see Klopp as like the new Ferguson in the Premier League.
it's not gonna stay that long.
Oh no, I'm just saying he's got that kind of vibe to him. He's not gonna stay 26 years, but I don't see him leaving or even like a Wenger kind of. He's gonna stay a while, unless he wants to go somewhere for a new challenge.
According to Sky Sports, Liverpool have all but completed the transfer of Takumi Minamino.
What position does this guy play?
He's very
Up front,
versatile.
Up front.
He's very
Okay.
versatile.
He's a winger. He's an attacker.
Look.
He's a number 9.
Okay,
10.
I don't really know much about him at all.
Honestly, I've only watched him play a few
Honestly,
times in my life.
All I know about him, I know him on FIFA. That's honestly it. He's okay on FIFA. I'm sure he's okay in real life.
How do you
seen-
pronounce his name? Minamao?
Minamino.
Minamino.
He's not
Sounds
bad.
like a Pokemon.
Potentially he is.
Okay.
I don't know.
If any of you guys have played the Pokemon games, there is a Pokemon called Minamao or something. So there you go.
But yeah,
There you go.
I mean, like I've seen him play for Salzburg in the Champions League and in the Europa League in past years.
He's a good depth player to have.
He's a good. Yeah, he's for
He
sure.
can rotate in your attack. Now you have Origi, you have him, you have Shaqiri too. I think Shaqiri's on his way out of Liverpool.
I mean, I wouldn't be
honest.
surprised.
You know, sorry, Giordano, I like you. Oh my god.
You okay?
Got coffee.
We'll take a break.
Continuing on with Liverpool, I guess since we were talking about them right now.
Yeah.
So they played in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 5-0, but you know,
Your average age was 19 years old.
for Aston Villa fans, they're just gonna be like in like 5 years, they're gonna be like, remember that time we beat Liverpool 5-0?
Not a single one of the Liverpool starting 11 was alive when Aston Villa last won the competition.
When was that?
1995, I want to say.
I mean, that's kind of surprising, but
Not a single one of their 11 was born. But I mean, quite frankly, Liverpool didn't want to be in this cup competition. They tried to go out against Arsenal.
My friend was saying how El Mohammadi was celebrating like he won the World Cup.
he scored a goal and he celebrated as if it was a banger in like
Yeah.
the 90th minute kind of thing.
I mean, he scored against the champions of Europe, just not the players.
No, not at all. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, Aston Villa go through. Congratulations to them. Liverpool are out. However, they're playing again today in the Club World Cup.
Yeah, 76th minute, Liverpool are tied with Monterrey 1-1. Monterrey in the first half wasn't playing too badly. Liverpool had a nice goal with Mo Salah, a great pass from Mo Salah to Keita, which is great
You
to see.
have half of your team playing, but you also have Jordan Henderson at center back.
Yes, and Milner
So
at right back.
There are scenes occurring there.
Lalana's playing. It's not the most
your,
ideal
your
situation.
squad rotation is getting very thinned out with all the matches you're
I
playing.
think he's actually doing a very good job of rotating the squad.
Yeah, I mean, Trent Alexander's on now, but Yeah.
I think he's doing a very good
Question:
job.
Is this like a group stage at all? Or
No, this is semi-final.
Oh my
It
god!
goes to extra time, so please score Liverpool.
It's one of those things where it's like, if my club's in this, I want to win it because you get this like really nice badge on the middle of your kit that I would love.
Because today in El Clasico was the last time Real Madrid will wear that badge.
Yeah.
And I read that a lot of Real Madrid kind of got used to it. And it's like felt like it was a part of their jersey, part of the club.
No. And I'll be honest, that little thing, it would look great on a Celtic kit, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
I don't think so either.
So, I'm sorry. It looked really nice, but unless you guys go to the Premier League and turn into this giant, but that's never happening.
We're just gonna go and win the Europa League, qualify for Champions League, and just go on.
That'd be amazing. I hope that happens. But
Yeah, so not really much to say. We'll keep you updated if something happens.
yeah. And I was telling you, these clubs that go into this tournament, they're not bad clubs at all. They're champions for a reason.
Of their continent. Yeah, they're a good club. Yes, the European champions are always favorites to win this trophy.
Maybe one day we'll see FC Edmonton there.
No, you will not.
No,
I hate to break
I mean, we've seen Real Madrid during these competitions. They've like been pushed to extra time by some of these clubs.
Didn't Chelsea make this tournament when they won the champion? They lost it.
Yeah, we mentioned that last time.
But the thing is, these clubs always play their full 11s. They rotate. They have. It's not the biggest of necessities for them, but it's also something that they care about at the same time, right? So, is there anything else we want to touch on today? Or?
Oh, well, Champions League draw.
Champions League draw.
Yes,
let's go through it real quick.
Some of these matches look absolutely mouth-watering.
I completely agree.
Let's just give our early predictions. We don't have to go too like analytical into it.
I'll go through it all. Dortmund versus PSG. This is a great one.
This is very exciting.
This is fantastic. This is all-out attack in my mind. The question is Dortmund's attack strong enough to break the PSG attack? Because I think this is going to come down to who can score the most goals.
If Neymar actually gets to play both legs, I think PSG can actually go through.
Yeah.
I don't know if he will play both legs.
And to be fair,
the second leg is on his sister's birthday.
In retrospect, PSG got pretty unlucky in the last Champions League.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Anyways.
Is it really unlucky or they just blow it?
Both.
Yes.
Who do you think goes through, Oz?
PSG.
Lucas?
Dortmund.
I gotta go PSG.
There's no doubt in my mind that PSG are looking as favorites for the Champions League this year. Mm-hmm. But it's like, can they get over that hump?
I don't think Sancho has stepped up for Dortmund in the Champions League as of
not
yet.
As much, yeah.
But I think during this time he'll definitely show up and show the world. And now it won't be just a general view of people. I think the whole world will know who. Now
these games are in February, correct?
Yes.
So things can change. Players can come in January. Managers, this and everything. So you never know. We'll give our better predictions closer to the actual game and everything.
We're just like mentioning it because it's new rules.
I'm going to call this next draw El Clasico. Real Madrid versus
Very
Manchester
much
City.
so. I don't know. I think
it's just money.
I don't know how this is going to
Pep
go.
is already making excuses.
Real Madrid wins this one.
I mean, let me get some quotes from Pep Guardiola.
Let's put Pep in his place.
Put him in his place?
Yep. Baldy locks.
Isn't Pep always trying to make excuses?
Always.
Or
Pep is just one giant excuse.
Let's see. He said Madrid is the king of the Champions League, which is true.
Yeah.
They have more experience than us in the Champions League. Their players have played games like this many times, which I guess is true. But it kind of seems like he's...
he's deflecting. I mean, he can see that his team has been very poor the past couple of months. He knows that he's not favored in this draw. I on paper, I don't think he's a favorite.
To be fair, Ramos himself has 123 Champions League games to
Real Madrid have not been great this season, but I still think they're better.
They're second in La Liga. They're tied.
They could be top right now. Yeah, we will get on to El Clasico. It started, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, but we'll get on to it. But I think Real Madrid takes this one.
You think so?
Who do you think, Lucas?
I have to agree. I think Real Madrid, they're just going to start playing better and better as the season goes on. And if Manchester City don't have a guy like Laporte in the back, I think guys like Hazard will finally step up. Benzema, they're going to tear it apart.
I think it'll be a great tactical battle between two of Europe's top managers.
And Zidane's never lost a Champions League knockout round as a manager.
Who wins it?
I'm going with Manchester City.
Wow.
I think
give some love for your noisy crosstown neighbors.
I think they might really have put a big push on the Champions League this year. And I don't know, they've won the league twice in a row now, and they've kind of are looking okay. Maybe we've already let the league slip, Let's
Focus
try and get
all
a
on
trophy we
Champions
never
League.
won.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I'd rather see Real Madrid win. But I think City might actually pinch this one out.
So I don't like both of these teams, but it will be a great match to watch, honestly, in February.
Atalanta versus Valencia.
Probably the least exciting tie out of all.
For both these clubs, you're like, Jesus, we got a chance here, boys. Come on, let's
Well,
keep it
this
going.
happens every year where, like, in the round of 16, there's always that one
Yeah.
tie
I
that's
remember
like,
Wolfsburg versus it was some Belgian club one time.
yeah.
I'm going to go here for Valencia, though. I like what they saw against Chelsea. I thought they were good against Ajax. They are more experienced at Atalanta. Yes, they don't score
Call me
many
crazy.
goals.
Call me crazy. I'm going with Atalanta.
No, not so will he.
Yeah, I agree with you, Walls.
I think Atalanta are a very explosive team.
They are. They can't defend.
They haven't been great defensively, but you know that
This
could change.
This is a smash and grab here. This
Yeah.
is Valencia 1-0 kind of thing.
Pareja's gonna.
This is
waste
a 20-minute goal and then sit back, 10 bodies behind the ball. Just smash and grab. That's what I think. Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool.
I'm somewhat worried
Interesting
about this
match.
You're actually worried?
one. A little bit.
Here's what's going to happen. Atletico are going to sit 11 men inside their own box. Liverpool, attack, and they'll win 2-0.
I don't
At
think
home.
that's how the
One-
match is
It'll
going
be,
to go.
it'll be interesting. I don't know how that's going to go, but I'll just go Liverpool. I think
Liverpool
it's
wins this one.
It's an easy way to go.
I think Atletico Madrid are a very tough team to play in the knockout rounds. Very good defensively, and they have been changing their style a little bit, creating more chances in their matches recently.
A lot can happen.
They've scored more than one goal a game, so they're an offensive
But
powerhouse.
the only problem is their goal scorer. They haven't really had one really, and unless if they buy someone in the January window where they start scoring goals like a machine, then I think Liverpool will be good enough to see them off. And Klopp has never lost a knockout tie. He's only lost a Champions League final with Liverpool. So
2-0 at home, 1-1 in the Wanda.
I think Liverpool will win it, but it's going to be a tough one.
Chelsea against Bayern Munich. This is 2012 all over again.
Except
there's no Didier.
well, no one on that team. Pretty much.
Unless, you know, Frank Lampard wants to loan Drogba back for a bit.
Be a good signing, honestly. Drogba would probably still be better than half that team.
Anyways,
Oh, well, come on.
that's
Drogba's
hard.
king, Lucas.
He hasn't played for years.
One of the best
He's
ever
bald now.
Premier League strikers.
He's bald.
He is.
Looks very odd bald.
He does.
Anyways,
I'm gonna go to Bayern Munich
Yeah,
here. I think
same.
they are a better side all around. They have more depth. They got Lewandowski. I gotta give him credit. You know, your Polski brethren. He's the best striker in Europe. Can he keep this form going on till these
yeah,
games?
I want to see him
think
just
so.
smash Chelsea.
I think Bayern's attack against that Chelsea backline right now
Yeah.
is...
Sorry, world class Rudiger. Sorry.
Well, he could be world class in the next few games. Maybe he will...
The next few games, a couple games does not make you world class.
well, no, play like he's world class. Not.
Playing top
So
four.
are you
mean?
choosing Chelsea or Bayern?
No, I'm choosing Bayern.
Bayern. Lyon versus Juventus.
Juventus?
I mean, Memphis Depay.
How
and
long is he out for?
He got an ACL injury.
Oh, okay.
He might be out for the Euros.
No.
Yeah,
That's
there we
sad.
go.
That's
That's
sad.
unfortunate. He's been playing really well.
That's actually really sad.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Sorry.
That's gonna be interesting for the Euros. So.
Yeah.
But it also sucks for Lyon, and they also had Rene Adelaide getting the same injury as well. So they're not having a fun time at Lyon. Lyon is
Moussa
going
Dembele
poorly.
hat trick.
I mean, he could be sold. No, he won't be sold in January. But
He's good.
it's going to be tough for Lyon, and
Yeah,
If-
I give.
it would be a
Juventus-
miracle if they won this.
Yeah,
honestly.
Juventus are better side all around. They have full ability to just walk this one. I think.
If Juventus doesn't win this, then Sarri's just going to be sad.
Yeah, 100%. Tottenham Hotspur. They go up against Leipzig.
This is a really
This is a
intriguing
good
one.
one. This is good.
The experienced Mourinho versus the young
I'm
kid on the
going,
block.
going Leipzig.
Here's the thing. I watched Leipzig against Dortmund just yesterday. It ends 3-3. Leipzig were up 2-0.
No,
No,
Dortmund
sorry. They were down 2-0. Dortmund were winning 2-0 at halftime.
Dortmund were playing really well in that first half.
Second half, Leipzig came out like someone lit a fire under their ass. And they were fantastic.
No, I disagree.
Lucas, they were great for the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Dortmund literally gifted them 2 goals.
Because of their press, because of their pressure.
Yes, and also some of the most amateurist mistakes
That
you
as
will
well
see.
happened. But
Like Berkey heads the ball to the side right to Werner. Brandt thinks he has 3 options to pass to, passes in between everyone, and it goes to Werner.
so yeah, like I said, it's experienced Mourinho versus a young Julian Nagelsmann and a young team at Leipzig. I got to go with Tottenham. I think they have experience in the Champions League.
And you think this experience from last season is going to translate to this season?
I mean, if Tottenham can find a way to defend, they're a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can score goals, their midfield's decent, they just can't defend right now.
Mm-hmm.
Leipzig, I think, have a better defense in Upamecano.
I mean, they did concede 3 yesterday.
They did, but they also scored 3. You know, they could. I think they're similar to Spurs in the sense that they're a good attacking team, but they're not the strongest defensively. I go Spurs though. I think Spurs that Harry Kane or Son or Lucas Moura or Dele Alli even has a little bit more of an advantage over Emil Forsberg or even Timo Werner, who's had a great year, but you can't rely on just one guy to score the goal.
Oh, what if they get Haaland?
They might. You never know. Who do you think's going through?
I'm right now slightly edging it to Spurs, but a lot can change in 2 months.
Yeah.
So
Personally, I think Leipzig will go through.
That's what you want, though.
That's why I'm. Yes.
And our final one: Napoli versus Barcelona.
Gattuso.
Manolas.
Ooh,
Manolas is back at Barca.
Yeah.
that's gonna be interesting. actually.
Barcelona. I think Napoli just too much of a mess. I think if this is Napoli 2 years ago, it would be a nice challenge, but right now, no.
I agree. Napoli's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, like we don't. Again, things can change a lot in 2 months. Maybe Napoli somehow become the best football playing team in Europe, but
Somehow I don't see Gattuso doing that. I hate to break it to you.
no. But I think Barcelona are too strong. When you have Lionel Messi in your side,
Yeah.
you always have a really good chance to win. I know that's very simple to say, but it's true.
I think this is one of the best. One of the best. I think this is a very good Champions League draw. There's some great games coming up. There's some good matchups. It's evenly matched. I think in a lot of the games.
One thing about Barcelona, they might be losing Vidal in January.
I'm not surprised because, according to reports, Arturo Vidal stormed out of Barcelona training on Tuesday after learning he would not start against Real Madrid. Several players tried to confront Vidal, but he could not be calmed down. Guess what? You're not starting. Move on, hothead.
That's okay. I don't think he's that good, anyways.
He's
Still pretty decent,
yeah,
but
he's
I'm just
still
saying.
really good.
He was never my favorite.
I just don't. I hate when players overreact when they don't start a game like just.
Look, it shows that they really care about
Yeah,
their
but-
job.
Yeah, maybe it's because I'm old school and I read all these Ferguson
Mate,
books.
you're young, guys.
No, I'm old school when it comes to football because I read all these Alex Ferguson books and it's like if you ever did this with Ferguson, you'd be out of the club.
Yeah.
The football change?
Get the hair dryer.
The player is never bigger than the club.
Of course not.
And that's what I see with Vidal right now. So get out of the club.
He doesn't think he's bigger than
Right now, he wants to start because he thinks he's this spectacular midfielder that he was. Not
He
anymore.
still is. He can still give Barcelona a lot of help, and you could argue that he's probably better than.
No,
Rakitic.
you get on that bench and you support your team that they hope they win. You can still come on the bench.
Yeah, of course.
You
He
can
should
still
be.
come on later.
I'm not saying I'm not saying he should do that. I do think he should be professional. But
Yes, and it's not very professional from him. He's a hothead. There's no doubt about that.
I think a team like Inter Milan could use a guy like
Yes,
him.
definitely.
Barca, Inter.
It's not that.
It's not that big. What do you
It's
mean?
like Barca.
One's in the Champions League. One bottled it.
They bottled it due to a technicality.
Nope, they bottled it at home against a rotated Barcelona team. They bottled it because they're bottlers who will never win anything.
Well, we'll see this
that's-
season.
I
You know,
think
you can't.
you
They have
give-
Antonio Conte.
Give them some respect.
Yeah.
Give Juve some respect.
They've won it for how many years now?
Give them some respect then. Understand that champions can be champions.
Yeah, but eventually your championship reign is going to end.
I like them.
Okay.
Yeah. You came to a fiery end.
Good things don't last forever.
Yeah.
Where are you coming these quotes from?
Look. Okay. I'm just saying, man.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this one up?
Well, what about the
You have to
question?
watch the El Clasico.
Okay.
Yes, hit me this question.
So from Declan Murphy from our latest video, he asked us like
YouTube, TikTok, where was his question
YouTube.
from? YouTube, thank you.
Yeah,
YouTube
but he did
comments.
come from TikTok though.
Thank you,
Excellent.
TikTok.
Welcome.
But his question was asking how we started supporting the clubs that we support living in Canada. So, Liam, do you want to go first? I know we had a video about this over a year ago.
We're actually all wearing our club's jerseys. We
Yes.
didn't even plan this, but we did. Well, look at us
I'm
go,
wearing
boys.
United. Hello.
I'm a Celtic fan. My family's been a Celtic fan for generations, really. My dad is, my grandfather is. So that's how I was first introduced to it. I started to become a big fan when I went to Scotland when I was, I want to say like 15 or so. We went to go see Manchester United Legends versus Celtic Legends. First time at Celtic Park, first time watching the game live, and I was like, hey, this club's special. You know, the atmosphere was great, the fans were great, the football was fantastic. Watching Henrik Larsson play my first ever game, he was like, hey, not bad guy to start off with. But, yeah, from then on, I've just become bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, learning more of the history, watching more games. You know, it sucks living in Canada, not being able to go to the games or having to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch them, but that's part of it, I guess. That's part of the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into United?
I started watching club football in 2012.
Okay.
And since then, I've seen United win one Premier League, so...
You're not a bandwagon.
I'm essentially not a bandwagon fan if you think of it that way.
I mean, initially you might have been.
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of... It sounds very stupid, but that was the year I bought FIFA 12, my first ever FIFA game. Didn't know what club to pick because my main club is I'm gonna pick United because my dad talks about them a lot, and I actually didn't really know much about United at the time. Yeah. So I just kind of did my research and kind of fell in love with the club's culture. So that's kind of why I've stuck with United. It's like the culture of the club and the history and the Munich air disaster, kind of like just how they kind of rebuilt from nothing to becoming this world famous club. It's amazing. So. That's why I love United. So it's not just because of the trophies. I mean, look at Man City. They've won how many trophies, but they don't have that culture, that history, right? Yeah. And plus Sir Alex Ferguson is just a legend himself. So
and you've read multiple of his books.
Yes, it's amazing.
And you never read.
No, I don't read much. Only things that interest me. Yes. So
Lucas, how about you?
So I started watching football in 2004, like Euro 2004, and I kind of grew in love with underdog stories because Greece won the Euros that year over Portugal, which was incredible. Yeah. But then the first club match I watched was Liverpool versus Middlesbrough, and either I was going to be a Middlesbrough fan or a Liverpool fan.
You went down the right path.
I mean, luckily I was a kid, so I was stupid, so I liked the name Liverpool because I'm liver in a pool.
It kind of does sound cool, I'll be honest.
As a kid, you think that's cool, but then I quickly, I kind of learned more about the club, learned about disliking Manchester United. I remember this match, Liverpool versus Manchester United. United had these black jerseys that, to be honest, were pretty nice. But I'm we need to beat them. But I think Liverpool were losing 1-0, and then my TV froze. So
it's not surprised though.
But unfortunately, early as a fan, I wasn't able to watch as many games because it was kind of, for me, it was hard to know when they played exactly because internet wasn't as far advanced, and also I had to go to Polish school every Saturday.
Plus, I mean, football coverage in Canada has only started to become big in the past 5-10 years.
Yeah. But I also, them winning the Champions League that season was pretty convenient too, and having a Polish goalkeeper really made me love it too. Jerzy Dudek.
He's a legend.
But then once I stopped going to Polish school after I just didn't enjoy it. I liked the people around there, just didn't like.
Anyways, continue. Yes.
But I got more into it. This is early parts of this decade, I guess, and I now try to watch every Liverpool match every time, and I just feel like it's an underdog story in a case because they were so bad in the early 2000s, and it shows
the banter.
The road has definitely become much greater.
I started watching football because of an underdog story of Greece, and Liverpool became an underdog story, and now are one of the best teams in the world now. And
so I mean, hope that answers your question, and we appreciate the question. Make sure you do leave questions down below. Get involved with it.
And also let us know who you support and how you became a supporter of that club.
I know it may sound a bit weird for us Canadians. We watched a random game, became a fan, and he picked a random team on FIFA. But for us in Canada growing up here, we don't have our local club we can go support.
Well, we do.
We do now, but they're trash. I gotta be honest.
Well, who cares if they're trash?
There's so many people.
But we still we do support our
when
local
it comes
club,
to a local club in Edmonton, it's been kind of inconsistent.
Yeah, they didn't get founded until 2011.
Yeah, the club first FC Edmonton got founded in 2011, 2012,
and they were playing in a league.
They were playing in the North American Soccer League, which is kind of shambles. It folded. So when the league folded, so did FC Edmonton for like a year until the Canadian Premier League got brought back up, and now FC Edmonton is back in the Canadian Premier League.
So really, the real part of the club was really 2019.
Yeah, so they haven't been around for a while. And another thing is like, I mean, I do support FC Edmonton. I hope they do well. I don't go to a lot of matches
because you work a lot.
Yes, I usually work when they play, and I've only been to one match of theirs. Actually, I've only been to two matches. It was their inaugural match back in 2011, and their first match in the Canadian Premier League, which it's not bad football.
I've been to a few.
Yeah,
and I went to go see Jordigo Samaras play when he came here. You know, Celtic legend, and he was on the Greece team that won the Euros.
Was he on that team?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but I went to go see him when he came to town. He didn't score, unfortunately, but. Half the stadium was Celtic kids, like.
And then you can say, "Oh, why don't you support like Vancouver or Toronto or like the Whitecaps?" Like, I don't know, just.
And I've been to see Vancouver. I've watched the Whitecaps.
Yeah.
MLS is not terrible. The stadium's fantastic, but for us in Canada,
like if I'm in Canada, I'd rather support FC Edmonton than the MLS teams.
Yeah, for us in Canada here, it's when we are available. The games are not on. We are more accustomed to watching football at 7 a.m.
I do support local.
PM,
it's just supporting a team in Europe is more exciting.
It's like when I go to Scotland, I find it so odd watching Premier League at nighttime. I go, what do you mean kickoffs at 8 p.m.? It's supposed to be early in the morning. I'm supposed to be tired as hell when I wake up.
It's kind of like for hockey fans in Europe, like they're gonna pick an NHL team.
Yeah,
they're from Sweden, but they'll still support like Chicago Blackhawks
or basketball fans in the UK.
Yeah, essentially, there's plenty of North American football fans in the UK. So it's like, why? It's like a lot of people say like, oh, you're from Canada, North America. You can't support a European club. You can't support European.
That's just
football.
TikTok comments.
Yeah, it's just
like my cousin in Scotland.
That's everywhere. It's on Twitter. It's like
it is dumb. Yeah, it is.
It's ignorant. Like,
or people saying like, oh, you don't. Yeah, you see on Twitter a lot where people say, oh, you don't deserve to have an opinion, or your opinion doesn't matter because you're not from the country.
You don't have a British accent or have
essentially,
European accent. My cousin in Scotland, he's a huge Denver Broncos fan. So like he watches them consistently more than I watch NFL. I don't watch American football that often, but it's just because where you live doesn't matter what sport you can watch or what team you can support. It's a big.
I mean, and these clubs are the only reason these clubs on this table here and other clubs as well are big because of fans around the world.
Yeah, these are the biggest clubs in the world. Like,
obviously we don't cheer for any of these.
I don't think no. Although I will like sometimes I'll buy one of these kits because they're nice kits. Yeah, I like football kits. They're nice. I try
to pick up a kit
just because I wear a PSG kit does not mean I support PSG. I just like the kit or the player on the back.
Yeah, I try to get a kit wherever I go.
Essentially,
or a scarf or something like that.
For me, example, the only Premier League kit I will ever buy is a United kit. But I wouldn't mind buying a Juventus or Real Madrid.
I would never buy another Scottish team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Motherwell's not bad. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I only wear Liverpool kits really.
So I only usually ever wear United.
I don't really wear them too often.
Yeah, you just have them.
I collect them.
Yeah, it's a nice little collection. It's like it's like Haaland and his soccer, his footballs.
Yeah,
right. I can't say soccer or I'll get ripped in half.
But yeah, we support our teams. We want to know who you support. Get involved in the comments. Let us know. And you know what? Get involved in any of this conversation that we've had today. Give us new questions to answer. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow us along on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Links are all in the description.
To be fair, like when people say support local, when Lucas first started supporting Liverpool, we didn't have a local team.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 100%. And when I know when I was growing up, we had an indoor soccer team here in Edmonton.
Yeah, and that folded.
I was like 4 or 5 when that folded. Now, one of the players who used to play over that team coaches a team in our division. I mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Vinovich.
Oh.
Yeah, but like, the players that were there were good, but they're not great. So I mean, it happens. But
by the way, Liverpool won 90th minute for Minamino.
Oh well,
Bobby,
done. Congratulations.
It's halftime at El Clasico, basically.
No, it's 30 minutes in. We'll turn it on now and start watching, give our thoughts about the match, and we'll put that at the end of this podcast here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching and listening. From myself, Liam, from Waz, Lucas, and co-host Greg.
I don't know why we're watching El Clasico. United are playing Colchester, so I'd rather
Piss off.
Come on, man.
Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for watching, listening, and this has been yet another week in the beautiful game. We will see you next time. So we just finished up watching El Clasico. We actually went live on TikTok. We were trying to go live on.
That's why our little setup looks a little different.
We tried to go live on everything else. It didn't exactly work out. We tried to put it together during halftime.
It was fun, though.
It was very good. Yeah. So make sure you are following us on TikTok. You know, we're going to try and go live more often. New content like that.
It's the new wave.
Yes.
You know, it's what all the kids are into now.
El Clasico, though, it does end 0-0 at the new camp. There was good chances from both sides. I thought Barcelona were probably a bit better chance-wise. Real Madrid had possession. But overall, not a bad game. It keeps it very tight at the top of La Liga.
Yeah, let's
quite the
get
physical affair at times.
There was quite a few little tackles here and there. But I think overall, it's a little bit of a disappointing result for both clubs. They would have liked to have won that, of course. Yeah. Especially Barcelona being at home. They would have liked to have really taken the 3 points there.
But that brings all the matches in La Liga up to the same for each team because Barcelona and Real Madrid had a match in hand. And yeah, they're both on 36 points. They drew their last two games, including this one. But their closest challenger right now is Saviour with 5 points behind.
Yeah, I think La Liga will be a two-horse race again this year. I mean, Atletico Madrid are in 5th on 29 points, so they are a decent amount back.
But, maybe if they get a goal scorer, they can...
Yeah, you never know. Overall, I think the TikTok live stream was actually very enjoyable. So, yeah, like I said, make sure you are following us on that.
Yeah, like Barcelona, they had a chance to take the lead in the end of the first half.
Yes, they did, yeah.
We missed most of the first half because we were recording the podcast, like we mentioned earlier. Yeah. But... Then, Real Madrid, they did score a goal.
They did. It was ruled offside. Gareth Bale, he finishes. He wasn't offside. It was Mendy was offside. So, a little bit controversial, but not really. It was clear and obvious offside. There was a protest. Beach balls rained down.
Yeah, some political protest happened.
So, that happened.
I generally thought it was diapers at first.
Diapers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Lucas has a
weird
weird mind.
Diapers?
Well, he's different.
What? How's that different?
Listen, man, whatever. Let's move on and talk about the match.
That was. Who was your favorite player on the pitch for the time you watched?
Maybe Vidal was kind of exciting to watch.
I actually think Antoine Griezmann is very good.
Yeah, no.
I liked his movement. Benzema was decent.
Bale played pretty big.
There was no standout performance. I think Messi was okay. Again, it was a 0-0 game. There was no one standing out. There was no fantastic one-man player show.
Except for the goalkeepers.
There wasn't that many shots, though.
No, it wasn't. This is probably like this could go down as a pretty bad El Clasico.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad.
It's the first goalless El Clasico in 17 years.
I just want to say, though, I called it.
Yeah, he did.
Did you bet on it?
No.
He didn't because he was here.
No excuses.
Lucas, it's El Clasico. It's going to be cagey. It's going to be 0-0.
Yeah, but currently on other places in Europe, if Carabao Cup is Manchester United.
Yeah, we're currently drawing Colchester. 0-0.
0-0. Man City are winning 2-1 over Oxford United, and Leicester City, big 2-0 right now over Everton. These are both in the second half, around 65th, 70th minute. So, yeah.
Well, if Manchester United do somehow lose, please send us a video of you.
Yeah, whatever. We're not talking about it right now.
What's going on in Germany? There's a couple of games going on in the Bundesliga.
You just said that very weird.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, currently last 10 minutes of those matches, and right now Mönchengladbach are winning 2-0, which is big for them. That would bring them back into first place in the league, I think.
Bayern Munich are actually drawing right now against Freiburg.
Yeah,
Freiburg, yes.
Yeah, Freiburg.
1-1.
Vincenzo Grifo scored.
That's not a good result for Bayern. They need
not at the moment, though.
They need to put that one up.
Schalke are a huge one right now over Wolfsburg with 10 minutes to go.
Borussia Mönchengladbach 2-0 right now over Paderborn.
Yes, we mentioned that.
Did you?
Yes.
Sorry.
And then 2-2 now in Eintracht Frankfurt versus Köln.
Yeah.
So
good
far,
games in the Bundesliga.
If it stays like that, Leipzig technically still are first by goal difference. Schalke would stay go into third, I think.
But Bayern in fifth, that's a bit shocking for...
I mean, if they don't score in the last 10 minutes, they're a wasted opportunity.
But you look at their points, they're actually falling a little bit behind right now, Leipzig and Mönchengladbach.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of a gap opening up in the Bundesliga. It was been so tight for the entire season. It's starting to open up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's Bayern, though. They came back from a pretty large deficit last season.
But you never know, these guys, they may be a little shaky right now.
And there's more challengers in their way, unlike last season.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. So If you have enjoyed the podcast, like I said before, make sure you are like, comment, and subscribe down below. I butchered that. I said that so weirdly.
Oh, well.
Make sure you're subscribed, hit like, comment down below. Make sure you are following us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn,
Sure.
Spotify, any and all social media. We're on most of it. But yeah, links are in the description. Thank you for tuning in yet again. This has been myself, Liam. Lucas was. This has been yet another week in the beautiful game. We will see you next time.
Bye.
I know some people, they just don't care about the Club World Cup.
I think it's kind of cool. You win the
don't care.
trophy, you get this sweet crest on
I don't care.
your club's never going to beat it.
Fair enough. I don't care about it. You're playing Monterrey.
That's cool, though. We never played
It is
a Mexico
cool.
team.
It is very cool. But if the Champions League winning team does not win this every single season, there's big issues.